Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we will speak about Aurobindo Pharmaceuticals. The company was down about 12% today, and there is a big news item in the company which says that one of the directors, Sarath Reddy, has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in the Delhi excise policy scam. So before we talk about Aurobindo and whether to buy it or not, it is important to understand what exactly this Delhi excise policy scam is. Okay, until 2021, the taxation on alcohol in the state of Delhi was 25% value added tax. Okay, and in the year 2021, the new excise policy was rolled out, which said that we are bringing down the VAT from 25% to 1%. Okay, obviously the question to ask yourself is, from where is the government going to compensate for such a heavy loss in revenue? Because directly from 25% to 1% is a very steep fall, right? The answer lies in in something called as a license fees for alcohol. So as per the old excise policy, the license fees used to be in the range of about 6 to 10 lakh rupees. Okay, in the new policy, the government decided that we are going to do open auction of these licenses. Okay, so basically whoever is ready to pay the highest amount, he would get that license. Okay, and surprisingly, the license cost, the licenses got auctioned for as high as 5 crore or 6 crore rupees. Okay, so you see, basically the government reduced the VAT from 25% to 1%, but they increased the fixed fees from 5 lakh 10 lakh rupees directly to 5 crore 10 crore 5 crore 6 crore rupees, basically a 10x rise in the license cost. Okay, how is a small and a mid-sized retailer supposed to bear this kind of an increase in the fixed cost? Because initially the cost that he was paying was a variable cost, right? The VAT, which was 25%, was a variable cost which he was paying on a month-on-month basis. Suddenly the government comes out and says that you have to pay a fixed cost to us. The smaller players could not do it, and they could not win the licenses. Okay, power started getting concentrated in the hands of bigger players. Okay, under the new excise policy. Along with the change in the taxation rules, the government did many more interesting things, because the retailers, they were paying 5 to 6 crore rupees for the licenses. The government had to give them some liberty, otherwise how are they supposed to make profits from their investments? One of the liberty which the government gave to these retailers is deciding the pricing of the products, basically alcohol. The retailers were allowed to sell alcohol lower than the MRP. Okay. Situation was that bigger players, they paid 5 crore 6 crore rupees for the licenses. Obviously at some point they have to think about their profitability. How are they going to recover that money? Okay, price war started getting developed in the region. Okay, alcohol started getting sold for one buy one get one model. Okay, and because of that fact, many more small and mid-sized players, they started getting kicked out from the market. Okay, so they decided to close their shops and they decided to surrender their licenses to the government because the model was not sustainable. Okay, obviously the smaller players, they cannot sit quiet for a very long time. They decided to approach the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court, they ordered an independent investigation into this entire matter. They said that this policy, it needs a closer look as far as the changes are concerned, changes in taxation are concerned. Once the CBI was involved, subsequently the Enforcement Directorate was involved. Okay, many people started getting interrogated, and one of the persons who has recently joined the list is Sarath Reddy from Aurobindo Pharmaceuticals. Okay, the point to think is, from where is the connection between a company's director, or the company is based out of Hyderabad, and the scam that we are talking about is in Delhi? Okay, so what is the connection? See, there are no clear answers as of now, but from what appears to me is that the new excise policy, it had a lot of loopholes. Okay, the government changed the model, changed the model of doing alcohol retailing business in Delhi from a variable price model to a fixed price model. Okay, so 5 crore 6 crore rupees of licenses. Okay, and the government ended up collecting about 25 to 30% higher in alcohol taxes in the year 2021. Okay, so it was a grand success as far as the government was concerned. Okay, but not as far as the market participants were concerned. All right, now the point to think is, the connection between Sarath Reddy and the Delhi scam is still not basically there is no direct connection which is proven as of now. Okay, So why has the market punished the stock price today? Okay, I think number one, Aurobindo Pharma is going through a lot of different problems before this particular problem came to the limelight. Okay, so they have their own issues as far as the US FDA is concerned. Okay, repeatedly the US FDA has been giving observations to Aurobindo Pharma, which they have not been able to address the way other companies are doing. All right, and recently SEBI has also given some kind of a notice to Aurobindo Pharma saying that you should give more clear exchange disclosures as far as the US FDA observations are concerned. You cannot just tell the market that we have some observations, and you cannot hide what exactly are those observations and what are you going to do about it. Okay. Basically, there is lack of transparency which the market is sensing as far as the management of Aurobindo Pharma is concerned. And this is very well apparent, this is very well visible in the valuation of the company and the stock price chart of the company. Okay. Now I want to talk about two important ratios. One is the price to earnings ratio and second is the price to book value ratio. The price to earnings ratio is very prominent in the case of non-finance companies, basically IT companies or pharma companies or manufacturing companies. Okay, the price to earnings ratio is pretty prominent and it is pretty important. But as far as the banking and finance companies are concerned, the price to book value ratio is more important. And I'll tell you the reason why the price to book value ratio is more important. In the case of banking and finance companies, they do a leveraged business. Basically, they borrow, let's say, 100 rupees from the market, okay, but the money that they put of their own is, let's say, 10 rupees or 20 rupees, okay. So, this is the own contribution that investors, equity investors in banks have, and this is the amount that they borrow from the market, okay. Generally, 3 to 4 times of the equity is what the banks and finance companies they borrow from the market. It becomes a risky business because if something like COVID happens and the banks are not able to recover the money that they have lent to other borrowers, okay, the first hit that is taken is by the equity investors. And we have seen this in many cases. Okay, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Yes Bank, you name it, there are multiple bank failures in India. Especially in the last 5 years, we have seen multiple things like this. Okay, even RBL and let's say Bandhan Bank, they are facing a lot of issues. They are not yet failures, but they are facing a lot of issues as far as the market confidence is concerned. Okay, so the price to book value multiple is a direct representation of how much confidence the market has in the balance sheet or the net worth of the company. Okay, so when I say book value, it is equivalent to net worth. Both the terms are interchangeable. Okay, in the case of Aurobindo, what you can observe from the screen is that the market is now giving it a price to book value multiple of only 1. Okay. During its good time, which was in 2013-14, the market was ready to give it a price to book value multiple of 8, 7, 8. Okay. So in good times, the market is going to value a company as per the price to earnings multiple. Okay. But during bad times, what happens is whether it is a finance company or it is a non-finance company, the market says we will value you on the basis of your net worth or on the basis of your book value. And I think something similar is happening with Aurobindo. Because of all these problems, the market has lost confidence in the net worth of the company or the management of the company. And they say that it's always better to be safe than sorry. Okay, you see the shareholding for Aurobindo, a big chunk of it, I think. Close to 40% of the shareholding is owned by the institutional investors, FIIs and DIIs. Okay, so whenever they sense that there is some problem on the governance front, they are the first ones to exit because they do not want to take any chances. And that is why you saw the knee-jerk reaction in Aurobindo share price today. Okay, talking about whether you should invest into the company, like I said, if you can be sure about the management, if you can be sure about the net worth of the company, if you feel that all these problems which are happening are temporary, okay, then you can definitely look to invest into Aurobindo because the valuation is really attractive at this point. Okay, and how serious are these allegations, or how serious can this matter of interrogation of Sarath Reddy gets? None of us really know. Okay. However, let me tell you that there have been many instances in the Indian markets where the promoters have been interrogated by the CBI, by the Enforcement Directorate, by the Income Tax Office. Recently, I think about 4 to 5 months back, the Hero family got raided by the Income Tax Department. Okay, the Munjal family. But the stock is doing fine as of now, at least. Okay, and there have been multiple instances. Okay, I remember one alcohol company, Radico Khaitan, they got raided by the Income Tax Office. income tax department, I think in the year 2011 or 2012. And look at the stock price today. It is doing well. Okay, so it's very premature to say as far as what is going to happen with Aurobindo, but it is definitely one of the companies which you can keep on your watch list. So that's all I have for now. If you like the video, do press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to check our small cases. Thank you.